Microsoft 365 is more than just a suite of applications. It is a unified platform designed to enhance collaboration, streamline process automation, and facilitate seamless integration. This session is specifically tailored for organizations like yours, eager to maximize their M365 investment and drive transformative change within their organizations. Here is a sneak peek at what we will be covering. Advanced M365 features, where you will discover lesser known tools and functionalities that can transform your workflow. We'll talk about actionable tips to streamline processes and improve team efficiency. Our team will also share customization tips to tailor M365 to fit your specific business needs and enhance user experience. We will also cover some interesting integration techniques to seamlessly integrate M365 with other applications for a more cohesive digital environment, and some customer success stories. We have already received some questions from our audience, and we encourage you to share any additional queries in the chat. Please note that for the recording purposes, all attendees will remain on mute except for our panel members. Thank you once again for joining us today, and we hope you find this session both informative and inspiring. To kick things off, let's begin with an introduction from our panel members.
Hello all. I am Sunil John, heading the Microsoft practice at CCS. I have been working in various Microsoft technologies for past 2 decades. And last 15 years, I'm more focused on building solutions and helping clients and partners to adopt SharePoint and Microsoft 365 technologies. A warm welcome to one and all to this session.
Hello everybody, I am Satish Vijayan, currently working in the position of Associate Director Microsoft Services with CCS. I'm having 18 years of experience in the IT industry, starting my career as a developer in Microsoft technologies and moving into more of a project management role right now. I'm really excited to be a part of this webinar where we will have a wonderful discussions on the advanced features of Microsoft 365 and how we can enhance productivity.
Hey everyone, this is Anup here. I'm currently working as a lead business consultant within our technology and consulting team here. I have around 16 years of experience in the IT industry, and I spend most of my time dealing with customer requirements, their pain points, and some of their aspirations. And actually, speaking of that, one recurring point in these discussions are mostly, how to effectively and efficiently utilize, the organization's existing subscription source softwares, right? All right. So probably I think maybe we'll start this discussion with a short summary of what Microsoft 365 is capable of, right? So Microsoft 365 actually enhances organizational productivity through AI-powered insights and automated workflows. It also boosts collaboration, with tools like Teams, SharePoint, along with improved security with advanced threat protection and data loss prevention, right? And its flexible licensing and seamless cloud integration allow for scalable growth and adaptability. I would say, if you can embrace these features, it actually will help the organization to stay competitive and efficient with minimal operational cost. I think you have to, we have to stress that minimal operational cost there, right? Probably, let's talk about some of these features and its capabilities offered by Microsoft, right, as part of their subscription plans. And honestly, I'm thrilled to start this discussion with my favorite app, Microsoft Teams, right? Even though this is not a lesser known app, but I seriously doubt if you are using all those features offered by Teams, right? We all know that Teams is a powerful collaboration tool, right? But apart from being a primary messaging app, it enables seamless collaboration, mainly by integrating third-party applications. Either you can install it from Microsoft App Store, or probably you can build some of those apps as well. And also we can integrate some of the bots into it, right? And these can streamline our workflows and increase productivity. One small example is how we are using adaptive cards within CCS to do workflow approvals, right? Any kind of workflow, we usually use adaptive cards and we get these messages within Teams to approve it, right? And another feature I want to add here is the creation of teams and different kinds of channels within teams, right? So if you create a private channel within a team, it actually kind of secures your communication within that private channels, right? I would say, this, I think I've explained only two. Like, I don't want to go to many other features. Probably we'll talk about some of them at a later point of time. But, if we use these features, we can significantly improve productivity and collaboration across our organization.
No. So Microsoft has been promoting Teams as a collaboration platform, and this collaboration within team can be further boosted by using SharePoint-based portals, which in turn you can use it through Teams itself, so that you can stay in Teams and use the portal there from here. Another important thing which Microsoft introduced is the SharePoint syntax service, which actually opens avenues for intelligent document management and advanced content management. In fact, SharePoint Premium, which was recently announced by Microsoft, make use of SharePoint syntax for various advanced features. Further, the collaboration can be enhanced through process automation using Power Automate and Power Apps, which are part of Power Platform. And also there is another important tool called Power BI, which you can use for building insightful dashboards. In addition to this, Microsoft provides Power Pages. Now it's not part of the subscription of M365, but it's part of Power Platform. So which enables seamless implementation of external collaboration using B2B or B2C portals, which enhance the external collaboration with your partner, customer, or stakeholder through responsive web pages.
Yeah, so but what I think is that having have all these, we could lose many hours, like just looking for information if you're not doing it the correct way. So that is where the Microsoft Viva comes into play, I would say. So a big benefit of Viva is that it has the ability to have more of an integrated user experience, which allows the employees to access and to get launched into their work very quickly. So Microsoft Viva Insights and Viva Connect. So these are the two key components, of the Microsoft Viva suite, which is designed to enhance the productivity and well-being in the workplace. So starting with Viva Insights, so we have the personal insights which help all individuals to protect their time for regular breaks, or they can do some more focused work in some cases, or maybe do some learning. So all these are made available by Viva Insight. But more than that, if you go one step ahead, the managers, if you do the manager insights, they get an aggregated or anonymous data that help you understand the trends within the team without actually compromising any employee privacy or anything. And again, if you take it one more step, the organization leaders, we for them, the Viva Insight offers a very advanced analytics as well. So in this era of remote work or hybrid work, or as we can say it, so maintaining a sense of connection and accessing the company resources very quickly is extremely crucial. And so that is where Viva Connect brings all of these directly into the Microsoft Teams. But then again, when we say about accessing data and everything, of course, the points of security and compliance will also come into place, where we have the DLPs, or the data loss prevention policies, which using which the Microsoft 365 helps prevent sensitive information from accidentally being shared outside your organization. So DLP policies ensure that critical data, like the financial records or the personal records, all these are protected, and they comply to all the regulatory standards like the GDPR, HIPAA, and more actually. But creating UDLP policies in Microsoft 365 is pretty much straightforward. You just have to create policies based on the information types, or set actions for the policy matches as well. And so turning into the advanced threat protection, there also Microsoft 365 actually provides us a very robust mechanism against sophisticated cyber threats, including phishing attacks or malware or zero-day vulnerabilities as well. So ATP includes features like safe attachments, which scans for harmful emails and attachments in real time. So all these and more advanced features, actually they are very powerful in that terms, and we can effectively apply these sophisticated capabilities in our everyday task, streamlining our workflows and maximizing productivity. So I think if we just go one step ahead, we do have many productivity hacks actually that can improve your productivity. I know maybe you can just start explaining with the Teams, which is your favorite app.
Yeah, right, Satish. I think probably you're mentioning about okay how Viva Insights and Connect also connects with Teams, right? So probably I will quickly talk about some of the features which we can turn on just like that, right? So I'll start with how I use Teams when I do meetings or discussions, right? So one thing I usually switch on during meetings is the automatic transcribe and record settings, right? So the transcribe functionality is a game changer, right? Previously, all those meetings were recorded in video format, and it was very difficult for us to search for something. But once you transcribe it and store it, searchability becomes pretty easier. You can find what information you require probably within seconds, right? You just have to write with the right keyword. So that's one. The second one is actually I'm using is AI meeting notes. It's actually part of the premium plan, since I have a premium plan here. So I usually turn on this feature also. So any meetings, and it's relevant because when we are into some of the project meetings, there will be some tasks assigned to you, or or maybe there will be some critical points which you don't want to miss, right? So your AI, Microsoft AI meeting notes will give a comprehensive meeting notes, and you can share it with your team members as well. Another tool which is my favorite actually is called as Speaker Coach. I actually right now I'm using it here. So what Speaker Coach does is like, okay, it monitors how you are delivering your messages during a Teams discussion or Teams meeting, and it actually helps you in fine tuning how you are delivering these messages, right? So it actually finds out if you are using repetitive language, or probably if you are using some of filler words. It actually tells you that okay, you are using this at this time, right? I think sometime back, okay, Teams just wrote me a message saying that I'm probably going a bit faster, right? So including that, right? Okay, how you have to slow down if you are doing any monologue. So it tells you that okay, this thing is happening, right? Probably I'll within Teams itself, another important feature is how we can link some other applications like Microsoft Loop or Microsoft Planner into Teams, right? So when we are talking about Planner, I would say Planner is an effective task management tool which comes with Microsoft 365, right? It has the entire life cycle where you can create task, assign task to somebody, and you can just actually track the entire progress of it visually using charts and boards, right? So along with that, what we have is we have something called as Microsoft Planner Premium as well. It actually comes with premium's license, but it's more like it's a miniature version of our Microsoft project, right? So you don't have to pay the entire license fee for the Microsoft project, but with Planner Premium, you will get a miniature version of that. I actually wanted to say, probably touch upon Azure boards also here, even though it's not part of Microsoft 365. But you can always link Azure boards with Teams, so that if you want to raise any bugs, or you want to create a task or update some task, you can easily do that from within Teams itself.
Yes, Anoop, just one line on that actually. So it's good that you brought Azure boards here, because so we here we are extensively using that actually within the teams, so that we can communicate about the user stories and bugs or tasks straight into the Teams chat without really having to go out of it, and it's very useful and productive as well.
Okay, I think when we are discussing on this productivity hike, I think one of the most important thing is the Copilot, which help us to improve our productivity a lot. So as you know, like Microsoft has introduced Copilot in all its apps, and it also, whether it is an office tool or it's a power platform tool, everywhere you will get Copilot. For instance, you can Word, this Copilot will help you in drafting the document from scratch, or enhancing the existing text, or formatting your text. All these things this Copilot assist you to do. And in Excel, you may find it very useful in data analysis and visualization, or getting some formula ideas out of it. So Copilot is all in all reducing your effort in doing your work. And again, when you do want to do a presentation, the Copilot in this PowerPoint will help you in generating engaging slide layouts, which will make your presentation more effective in shorter time. And not only this, in Outlook, if you see, you can easily draft emails, and also you can summarize long email threads. So like that, it's very useful from a not only in the office tools, but you can see in the Power platform also there are Copilot, which can help you, like in Power Apps, Copilot, you will find assistance in building simple apps, and also the Power Automate, you will get assistance in building the workflow. And not only this, even the Copilot in Power BI helps you to build dashboards.
Yeah, Sunil, very good that you brought in the Power BI because ultimately you need to manage the entire set of data that you have, and you need to provide a proper analysis of that. And so that is where Power BI comes into place actually. Power BI actually takes in the data that you have refined using Power Query. Power Query again is a tool for discovering or refining data across various data sources. So using Power Query and the data that you get from them, you can turn it into an actionable insights through rich visualizations. So Power BI basically allows you to connect to many data sources, and it simplifies the data preparation and drives ad hoc analysis. So when you combine the Power Query's data presentation capabilities with that of the Power BI's analytics and visualization, you're actually getting a very robust framework of data-driven decision making. So just imagine effortlessly importing data, transforming it to meet your needs, and then visualizing it in a way that it tells a very compelling story that is enough to drive your business strategies forward. Another good thing here is that actually you can integrate or incorporate these Power BI dashboards into your SharePoint online portal, meaning one place you just go there and you can just visualize your data there.
Yeah, right, Salish. I think probably we haven't mentioned SharePoint till now, right, on the productivity
Yeah.
hacks, right?
Yeah.
Because SharePoint Online actually this is also a collaboration platform similar to Teams, right? So and it offers lots of out-of-the-box capabilities. The very first out-of-the-box capability, or rather the major feature SharePoint offers, is document management, which Sunil has already mentioned about, right? Probably, I will add 2 points there. So one is actually the usage of metadata along with all these documents, right? You input the enough metadata with all those documents, and then the document categorizations becomes very easier, right? So you just categorize documents, you store documents, and using this metadata, retrieval and searchability of this document becomes very, very easier, right? And other ways of how you can make use of document management, one is like the version history, which is inbuilt in SharePoint Online, check-in, check-out functionalities. And also we have co-authoring as well there, so that you can work collaboratively on documents, right? So another aspect of SharePoint Online is actually the team sites and communication sites, right? So this is also available out of the box within SharePoint Online, and you can actually use hero web parts to create some of these sites. If you want to create a communication sites for a simple project, or you're doing an activity, you want to have a team site, you can create these sites immediately without any technical support, right? So two major features offered by SharePoint is actually lists and libraries. So a list is nothing but, if you want to store any data, if you want to create it as a database, you can make use of SharePoint list. And libraries you can make use to store documents, and you can use libraries to restrict access, put increased security on top of documents. Right, and two more features which we give, which Microsoft SharePoint gives is the search and discoverability, right? So Microsoft already has very good inbuilt search tools using which you will be able to find any documents, if you have the right metadata again, and also, like, okay, how these documents will be listed for the end user, right? But we're just talking about all these out of the box features, right? But actually, SharePoint can help us only to an extent using these out of the box features, right? Uh, One game changer here is actually how, if we are customizing SharePoint to create some of the applications which we are looking to, right? So this opens, a door to opportunities for all the organizations, right? I think Sunil, with his extensive experience, ranging from Microsoft on-premises to the latest Microsoft SharePoint online, yeah, Sunil would be able to, throw some light on the customization tips, how we can customize some of these tools to various, scenarios.
Yeah, sure, Anup. Yeah. So my experience from since 2007, I've been working in SharePoint. So when I've worked with customer, most of the requirement comes around portal or document management solutions. So portal, it can be like employee collaboration portal or department portal or project portal. Like that, there can be different portals itself, which actually most of the customer need to collaborate for their team, maybe the department team or the employees or the project team. So one of the important thing when it comes to portal is the branding. So previous versions of SharePoint before M365, there was option to you can do customization based on the master pages. But with the coming of the modern approach in the M365, that is limited to setting up the themes. Microsoft provides some default themes which you can use, but most of the cases you may have to build custom themes that will suit your organization branding, which you can define and you can apply to your sites so that it can have a matching with your organization branding. Having said this, another important factor is like you can um, build template out of a site, and after doing all the tailoring, you can build a site and provision this site to build different department sites or any sub sites, which can give a unified look and feel across the organization. Another important factor when we discuss about this portal is like, as Anup mentioned, there can be out of the box web parts like hero web parts or news web parts. But many cases when I dealt with customers, they have their own requirement. Like maybe they have a specific requirement for having an employee directory or maybe a birthday list or similar thing or upcoming events. They may have specific requirement. In that case, we build custom web parts using SharePoint framework. Also, many of the customer when we deal with have come up with the requirement like employee self-service add-ons. Like for example, the reimbursement request process, then the consumable request or the visitors request, or even the business travel request. This sort of add-ons they would like to build within this portal. So usually we build this using SharePoint framework or Power Apps, and this is further automated using Power Automate or Logic App. Another important solution which customer asks for is the document-based solution, which we have implemented lot for different customers. Each customer have their own requirement. Like many cases, like people may need contract management. We have implemented that in a couple of scenarios where they want to manage their contract there. within SharePoint. Another is RFP collaboration, where they can collaborate on bidding with their vendors. Then project document lifecycle management, where project document can be managed. Then the quality document management, where your controlled document can be managed. And the transmittal management, where you will collaborate with the external stakeholders. All this can be easily achieved using SharePoint, which we have implemented in many of our customer sites. And all these cases, whether it is a employee self-service add-on or a document management solution, all have its own workflow related to it. So, and all this workflow is driven either by Power Automate or Logic App, and any notifications that is required as part of this workflow is actually sent to Outlook and Teams, where through the adaptive card which Anup mentioned sometimes back, and this enables the um, workflow participant to stay within Teams or Outlook and do the action.
Yeah, right, Sunil. I think probably I have to highlight a point as a business user, right? I consider myself as a business user, not a technical user, right? So one point, most of the organizations, when they introduce a new application or when they have to build a new system, right? It's mostly to digitize their operations or streamline some of their workflows, right? And they always tend to make a decision of make or buy, right? And some of these organizations who does not have a dedicated IT team or an IT partner, they often tend to choose a buy decision, right? Go for a service which already exists outside. It's just readily available. But the problem there is actually they end up paying a higher cost, that to a recurring cost on a monthly basis for all their subscribed users, right? Most of the time, what I've seen here is, the organizations, even though they have Microsoft license, they tend to oversee the SharePoint customization as a option for building these platforms, right? I think probably I'll touch upon two examples where organizations can actually customize SharePoint online to meet some of their workflow automation or probably the streamline of processes scenarios, right? So one use case is like if you look at manufacturing industry, right, where health and safety norms are it's like very important. And also, so incident management or incident reporting, right? It's actually legally a mandate to have in most of these organizations, right? So one thing I've observed, or probably when I was doing my research and all, right, and even we started building a solution accelerator for incident within CCI, right? So we can actually use SharePoint framework for creating the interfaces where employees or visitors, even visitors, right? Okay, they can report an incident, and then incident can go through the entire incident triaging, and there will be task assigned, and we can actually create Power Automate. We can actually use Power Automate to create workflows, and also the backend actually it can be either based on SharePoint list if the data volume is pretty low, or if you can look at other premium databases. Okay, if there is a huge volume of data, right? So in this case, actually, you don't have to spend a lot on recurring operational costs because you already have your M365 license. And what actually you have to do is like you have to understand the process, you have to document it, and probably get help from a technical person to customize SharePoint in such a way that you will be able to use this particular application, right? And another common scenario is actually document publishing. Sunil has mentioned about document-based applications a lot, right? Any organizations, there will be controlled and uncontrolled documents, right? And all these controlled documents has to go through a document approval workflow or review workflow, right? So SharePoint, with minimal customizations, we can create working document management system or document publishing systems, right? I'll probably touch upon one more example, which is actually the business travel request, right? So we have within CCS, we use this pretty often, right? I think all the business teams or people from the pre-sales team, right? Whenever we have to raise a request, we don't go to the SharePoint application, even though we have built it in SharePoint. We just use Teams and we raise applications there itself, and The information we enter, all the details goes to different departments, and travel arrangements are made. If we have to have accommodations, that's also made, and the status is again come back to us within Teams itself, right? So what I want to share here is like all in all, if you think about digitizing any workflows within the organizations, right? You can actually do that by customizing online. It's just that you have to have a clear understanding of what process you want to customize, and you have to just document it, right? And probably one suggestion from my experience to any organization, if they want to start it out, right? We can start with simple workflows with minimum complexity, and probably, as you go, you can increase the complexity, and you can move on to bigger processes.
Yeah, okay. So another couple of other things based on my experiences, like you can many of the customer want some sort of checklist that
Yeah.
has to be updated. Basically, it is a form-based solution where we use Power Apps-based Canvas app to build this checklist, which we have provided it for some manufacturing company where they actually use this checklist to capture various parameters during the production process. And also in some case, like for energy industry, we have provided similar sort of checklist for information sheets, which actually helps them to collect project specific requirements or details from their client side, and they can use this within their project. This again, we use Power Apps forms for that. Another thing which a solution which we have provided to our client is the client portal, which we have built using the Power Pages. For instance, we have delivered one solution for a legal firm where the case can be registered by their client using this client portal, and they can track the cases, status of their cases through this. Another implementation we have done is the customer service portal, where the customer can come in and register their complaints and track the status of the tickets. So in that way, this Power Pages help us to do a very interactive portal, which help the external clients to interact. Again, it's not just capturing the data. Other thing is like we have, when I worked with many customers, they have the requirement for building dashboards. So we have built many dashboards like sales dashboard, finance dashboard, operational dashboards. All these dashboards may be having a different database or source of data, maybe derived from multiple sources like Dynamics 365. Then maybe some data may be in SQL, and some data will be in Excel. All these data we consolidate and build the dashboard. So we have our own this data team, which actually is very capable of building doing the ETL work and consolidate and cleanse and transform the data that optimize it to build the dashboards. And another scenario is from the automation point of view is the RPA. So we can further automate the process using RPA. Like we have done some automation where multiple Excel sheets are data from the sheets are extracted and a consolidated report can be built, or you can download PDF statements and extract data and input it to their legacy system or any other system. So in a way, we can automate this using RPA. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, Sunil. You briefly touched upon Outlook also earlier, and I think Anup, as a business user that you mentioned, you probably have come across several scenarios where users find it very difficult to work in Outlook, where, especially when they have to pick up date documents
Yeah.
from probably SharePoint in that aspect. So, and that is where custom add-ins can significantly simplify how we work with emails and documents within Microsoft environments. So just imagine the capability of having an option to integrate, your Outlook with, let's say, SharePoint Online, for instance. Like you're preparing an email and you want to pick up a document from one of your SharePoint Online libraries. You don't really have to toggle between these two environments. You basically get an option in the add-in to search for documents inside your SharePoint Online, and you can just add it to Outlook as an attachment. So we have exactly done that kind of a custom add-in actually for a couple of our customers, leveraging the power of SharePoint framework SPFX to create a very seamless bridge between these two platforms. So all these hassles of toggling between your emails and the document libraries and also if you have to archive any important messages or attachment of documents to email, so this add-in that we have actually addresses this particular challenge, and within a few clicks actually you can basically move a mail into an Outlook, or you can just fetch any documents or other attachments into the email and just send it over. So speaking of Outlook, I think there is another important thing or app that we have to discuss would be Word, Office applications, especially Word, because I think many of the industries that we discussed here, be it small industries or big oil and gas, EPCC industries, everybody will be requiring some kind of a standard document templates to be kept there that will be used to prepare the documents either for internal circulation or maybe for external parties. So, so building these document templates can be very easily if you use quick paths in Word, which is like a fantastic tool for anyone looking to streamline their document creation. So KickPath actually allows you to reuse some of the common text snippets or even document properties, thereby enabling you to fetch data directly from the document library. So maybe you can just have a standard document template created as a control document, as mentioned before, and then you can use that document to inside your projects, where it'll get some of the static information it already has, like maybe the company logo, company name, addresses, those kind of things, and other in dynamic information related to the project can easily be picked up into this document, and you can use it in that project. So this not only saves a lot of time, but also ensures that there is a consistency across the documents that you use within your organization, thereby maintaining a high level of standard within your organization. Um, if we just go beyond Word, Microsoft Syntax also enhances how we interact with the content across Microsoft 365. So it applies advanced AI and machine learning to amplify the human expertise and automate content processing and really transform the content into the knowledge. So, as I said, SharePoint Syntax is very important service that that will actually have advanced features like the OCR or the annotation, e-signatures, all those things. So incorporating these optimization, I believe, into our daily use of Office applications not only enhances the individual productivity, but also enhances collaborative efforts here, which I think will make the entire organization much more efficient.
Yeah, Satish, I think probably I have to mention one scenario where we have used these two tools, right? I think our contract management solution accelerator, right? So we
Yep.
had a feature where we had to manage templates for external internal users, right? So I think our tech team has come up with a beautiful feature or solution using both QuickPaths and Syntax to entirely manage the template, and also to summarize some of the contracts. Probably I think they are actually working on how they can leverage this summarization part for identifying some of the risks as well. It's a work in process, but that's how they have used Syntax in one of the solution accelerators.
Yeah. So having said about the integration with Outlook or Word, which is part of the M365, but most of the customers which we have interacted, they also need integration with other business applications like their ERP system, like SAP or Oracle, or maybe the CRM system like Salesforce or Dynamics 365, or even some legacy systems or some other systems which they usually use for their operations. So all this can be done either through a couple of options are there. One is like you can use the API provided by those applications, and using that you can actually integrate those data. And again, like there can be some plugins which we have recently used in the Salesforce, where you can get all the documents from the SharePoint within the Salesforce using a plugin. So in that way we can integrate. Other thing is like there is a lot of connectors available with all the common applications, but there may be some premium connectors also which is available. So these connectors can be used within Power Automate or Power Apps to integrate with the other systems.
Yeah, Sunil, I think you were talking about, the integration between Dynamics 365 and Microsoft 365, right? I would
Yeah.
say this webinar, which we are doing now, right? I think this is a perfect example of how seamlessly we can integrate with Microsoft 365 and Dynamics 365, right? So the entire planning and operations were done within Dynamics, the email campaigns or whatever, intimations were initiated from Dynamics, but the information was sent through Microsoft Outlook or other means, and also the data is stored in both Dynamics and also in Microsoft environment, right? So this is a perfect example where you can actually seamlessly integrate between Dynamics and Microsoft 365.
Exactly, Anub and Sunil. So actually, talking of integration possibilities here, if you delve into the powerful integration possibilities within the Microsoft ecosystem, it's just wonders there actually, especially if you're using Microsoft Graph API, or if you want to build custom built APIs, and even using Azure API management. Microsoft Graph API is the most key thing here actually, which is like a gateway of data and intelligence in Microsoft 365. So it actually allows you to access a wealth of information across Microsoft 365, enabling you to build apps that can enhance productivity and automate workflows. Yeah, for instance, you want to integrate between your calendar data in Outlook and SharePoint Online, or you want to integrate between SharePoint Online or Teams, or yeah, you just name it, and all these integration possibilities are possible using Microsoft Graph API. And when it comes to custom made integration solutions, that specifically depends on the business needs that one organization might have. But depending on that, it actually allows for a great flexibility and integration depth there. So these custom APIs can actually integrate with your existing third-party applications or other Microsoft services using this Graph API, or and it can just provide seamless data flow and functionality between these systems. Integrating these APIs effectively often involves Azure API management, which is like a turnkey solution provided by Microsoft for publishing, managing, or even analyzing your APIs. So APM, as we call it short, it not only allows you for creating consistent and modern API gateways for backend service, but also ensures that your APIs are very scalable, secure, and also well documented. So, in a nutshell, we can say that the integration possibilities using Microsoft Graph API and Azure API management, it just opens up a door of opportunities to not only enhance the functionality of your applications, but also to streamline your processes, you automate your workflows, improve your productivity, and maintain a good standard across your organization. So we actually have tried to incorporate or integrate all these possibilities in Microsoft 365 to build custom-made solutions or solution accelerators here, or different solution accelerators. So when we come to integration part of it, I have to mention the document management system that we have, which is like a kind of an integration. You start with Dynamics there, where the actual project is created, and you end up creating a work area for the project inside SharePoint Online, which is technically a site collection there, having its own document libraries and all the other requirements for managing the project there. And in this document management system that we have within the project, you can just fetch the standard document templates about which I mentioned sometime back, and using that template, you can create the documents. You can send it on a multi-level workflow, get it approved, and it can be moved into another library or an area where all users can access it. So this workflow actually takes you through different levels of workflows, increasing the revisions and the levels of the document as you move forward. And at one point of time, you can even send this document outside your organization for external parties to come and act on it, where the transmittal management system comes into play for us. So here you're actually sending out the document for the external, which I think many of the big oil and gas or big industries will require. They're like the construction documents, or those kind of big project documents. They probably have to send it out to their external external parties, customers or vendors to review it from their end. And there we have provided access for the external users using the standard Microsoft authentication and authorization procedures, thereby securing that only the authorized users are able to access these documents and work on them. And as soon as they work on these documents, entering their comments and other information, prompt notification is again sent back to the stakeholders within the company using notifications and adaptive cards on Teams or also on email also. And this the good thing is that this is actually available directly on Teams also. So you basically can just work on the entire project within Teams itself.
Yeah, right, Satish. I think probably, you are talking about the document management capabilities or the document management solutions, right? So one other solution accelerator which you have built is the contract management solution, right? So I have to say that, what we have used here is we have leveraged, the entire document management capability. So contract is nothing but a document which is executed between two parties, right? So the contract management capabilities, the workflow capabilities, and also, we have integrated the legality of it, right? Legality of, like when I say legality, the execution part of it, right? So different parties has to sign on these documents and they have to execute this document, right? So the entire contract management life cycle we have tried to bring into this contract management solution accelerator, right? So, and the beauty of this particular product is this is entirely built as a configurable product, right? So I know there is a basic version of it which anybody can actually deploy on their premises, and they can actually start using it probably within 2 or 3 days time, right? So what they have to do is like they have to identify the types of contracts they have to create. I mean, the category of the contract, if it's an offer, if it's a gig contract or that, or which departments are going to execute it, who's going to execute it, and whether you are sending it to an outside party, whether it's a customer, whether it's a contractor, or probably a vendor, right? So external access is also enabled here, and as I mentioned, earlier, using Syndex and QuickParts, we have already enabled template management, right? So you can easily create contracts from the templates without going through, many documents, right? And for e-signature purpose, what we have done here is, we have integrated this with Adobe or DocuSign based on the customer requirements. We can configure that, and probably Microsoft is actually announcing e-signature also part of one of their SharePoint premium plans soon. So in the future, we should be able to integrate that as well, right? So that's one use case where we have utilized our document management capabilities, right? Moving on to probably ticket management, right? I think Sunil was mentioning about when he had to work on a customer service portal, right, where external parties had to raise tickets. So that was an idea because like when we were working on that particular project, we thought, okay, why can't we leverage that idea and build something, or probably expand something more on it, so that your organization who has Microsoft Dynamics 365 and who do customer service, how can they leverage their existing license and create a peripheral application using which either their external customers or internal agents can work on tickets, right? So what we have done here is we have again brought in the ticket management lifecycle into this particular application. where we use this peripheral application to inject or create tickets. And also, you'll be able to categorize tickets, and there will be some auto assignment or categorization of tickets, and you can assign these to dedicated agents, right? Who will be working on these tickets to solve them, right? So then life cycle starts on rising until there is a resolution made for those tickets, and we can actually create reports based on the needs, right? Probably I'll touch upon one more small application, or rather I won't call it small, but but probably it's IT asset management, which we again use within CCS, right? So we can actually use, we can do any asset management within this, but in CCS, we use it mainly for IT asset, both hardware and software assets. So what we are doing here is the asset management lifecycle starting, you can see on this, probably on the screen, right? So requesting assets, you can, either you can decide whether you are procuring or renting an asset. You can do check-in, check-out, allocate, or, probably the entire maintenance activities, and, until whether you decide whether you want to scrap an asset or sell off some of these assets, right? And what we have done here is we have utilized Microsoft Power Apps to create this application, right? And I think the backend we have used the SharePoint list, and we can actually change that based on the volume of the data as well here.
Yep. So having said all these apps, I think one of the important thing is the employee should come in and access this app through a single point. So the one-stop solution, which I already discussed, was the collaboration portal. So I am not going in detail. We have an accelerator for collaboration portal also, which actually serves as a central information hub with news, published documents, blogs, and all other stuff. And also it provides the common launchpad for the applications. And also it enables converging data from different departments within the homepage. And another important factor which I would mention here is the Viva dashboard. Also, we have can embed this Viva dashboard within this portal, and this portal can be accessed through the Teams itself. And since we are running out of time, I'm just pausing here and just handing over to Sonali. Yeah.
Thank you, Sunil. So before we move forward, we'll be sharing a sneak peek at the bouquet of our MT65 services. And we also have a video testimonial from one of our esteemed clients who will talk about the successful DMS implementation which we did for them.
In today's fast-paced business landscape, workplace modernization is quickly taking center stage. The driving factors behind this shift are compelling. Modernization is no longer optional, it's a necessity. It's about forging a dynamic hybrid work culture, fostering collaboration, fortifying data security, and automating mundane tasks. At CCS, we're at the forefront of workplace modernization using Microsoft 365. Our document management system streamlines document handling, centralizes document, and simplifies workflow. Our transmittal facilitates secure document exchange and progress tracking. M365-based collaboration portal enhances teamwork and cuts costs. Simplify contract handling with our contract management solution. Manage IT assets effortlessly without asset management portal. Security is paramount. We provide robust backup and data security. M365 and CCS are your partners in productivity, security, and driving ROI. Ready to modernize your workplace? Contact CCS today.
Acclaim started using SharePoint on our own in 2019. At that time, Acclaim's business from the region were growing and the need to share information documents were intense. For a period of 2 years, it fits the purpose well. However, as SharePoint became more matured, we discovered there was so much more capability than we know. We started scouting for vendors who specialize in SharePoint, and CCS came recommended to us. From December 2021, CCS has supported us to restructure our SharePoint, develop a web app for our internal training needs where users can go through the training at their own pace, develop a web app to allow us to track sales pipeline by department, and we can monitor the progress at every stage of the sales process. We are also in the midst of another 2 projects, where one will phase out our existing electronic document management system and the others to use robotic process automation to improve our efficiency. Overall, CCS has been professional, resourceful, and accommodating. You can count on them to deliver within the time frame. That said, it is no secret that we'll continue to work with them.
Thank you. Now we would like to take some questions. You can type your questions in the chat box and from there we'll pick up. All right, we have one question here. How can we leverage Microsoft Teams to improve cross-departmental collaboration within our organization?
I'll take that. That's my favorite app, Sonali. And I think probably I've touched upon, how we can use that, right? So the very first thing is actually creating cross-departmental teams within teams, right? So we call it as teams, right? And you can actually create sub-channels under these teams which you are creating, right? So let's say, you run into a project, you want to add members into the team, you create a team, add members into the team, then you can create separate channels. So there can be let's say a pre-sales channel, or there can be a delivery channel, or there can be a testing channel, right? So members will be able to see only information there, which they are allowed to see, and probably the administrator or the managers, project manager will be able to see the entire information, right? So that's one feature which you can use, and another one is actually using of tabs to integrate key tools into teams, right? So let's say one example is when I was doing a product consulting activity for one of our clients, right? So they were actually using Asana for their task management. So we can actually, what we did is like, okay, we integrated Asana as a tab into Microsoft Teams, and I was actually accessing all the Asana tasks, or I was updating tasks from Teams into Asana. So that's usage of tabs to integrate key tools is another one. And probably another one is like, if you want to create a bot within Teams, right? Let's say you want to search for some documents, or you are in a project and you want to search for a policy of that, right? You can actually create bots which you can search for some of the information, or which can, give you all those information. And there are n number of other things, where you will be able to add, but probably, you can just search for it. But these 3 things, if you do it, you will be able to, do collaborative manners within cross-departmental functions.
Thank you, Anup. That was insightful. We have another question from Vincent. He wants to know what are the differences between Zendesk and the ticketing in 365.
So I'll touch upon 2 points, and then maybe Sunil or Sadish can add, right? So Zendesk is actually an application where you have to pay subscription fees for each and every user, right? Okay, let's say you have 10 to 15 or probably 20 to 25 service agents, right? So when you subscribe for a user, there will be a monthly charges for Zendesk, right? But if you already have Microsoft M365, anyway you are paying for a subscription, so you can leverage that. But our solution, which we are using, is actually built on top of Microsoft Dynamics. The same thing which we can actually build on SharePoint also. But if you build it on top of Microsoft Dynamics, the integrations will be pretty smooth, and we can actually make use of the best practices which is already built on top of Dynamics 365. So the major aspect is actually the cost saving part, where you are not paying additional subscription on a monthly basis. And the second one is actually, you can utilize your or you can actually integrate between Dynamics, the best practices, and your existing application. And the third one is we will be able to create peripheral applications for various activities. Probably you can assign it to different people. In Zendesk case, or probably similar applications, if you have to give access to your external stakeholders, even for that also, there will be a limit at which they will be able to add tickets or comments.
Yeah,
Sunil,
just
Satish, if you want,
adding to that, with this Dynamics 365 Customer Service Enterprise Edition, you have this Power Pages free of cost, which you can leverage to create the client portal, which enable your client to interact with you without additional cost. Yeah.
And
Okay.
also just a single line on the integration aspect also, being part of the microservices actually provides seamless integration with other Microsoft 365 applications also, such as
Yeah.
Outlook, Teams, and SharePoint. So I think that is
Correct.
also in a way very good there.
Yeah. Correct.
I hope, Vincent, that was clear. Now we'll move to another question we have received from Mohammed Mukhtar. Can we use SharePoint as document archive solution to scan documents and retrieve it based on certain fields in the document? Or will it have user-friendly interface? And can it be integrated with our scanners?
Yeah. So I will take that question. Yeah, of course. We I think most of the scanners available right now is actually compatible with SharePoint. So you can have that option within scanner itself. The library you can mention which library it has to go, and there is we can actually have a very friendly interface using SharePoint framework, wherein you can have this again we can have this data extraction based on using the Power AI Builder or this SharePoint syntax, or even using some Azure service, business intelligence service. We can actually extract data from this scanned documents and update it to the metadata, respective metadata. And again, if some archival mechanism is required, we can have set aside a document library for archival, where we can set the workflow or the Power Automate process, which can push this data after the set period to this particular document library as archiving.
Yeah, I want to add one more point here, right? I think probably one example which we done, right? Okay, so he was asking about scanning of the documents, right? But one project which we did last year was there were a customer requirement where there were lots of PDF documents, right? Which includes images as well. So what we did is like, okay, we used Azure API and some of the other tools like Adobe extraction to extract these data, and these data were pushed into Dataverse as a data storage, and we were using Power Apps based user interface to get these data back to the user. So the user can just go there, read all those information, search for some of the reports, but they don't have to access the PDF, but they can actually go using the front end, and they can actually retrieve the data which is there in that particular reports.
Okay. Thank you, Anu. Thank you, Sunil. Mohammed also wants to know to add, can we do bulk upload at the initial stage in this?
Yeah, definitely. We have done it for some of our customers where they have a lot of documents. And in this case, some customers want the metadata also to be with this particular, when we are uploading this, the metadata also should go. So we have done some custom application which actually reads from the location, the file name, and they can set their metadata in separate Excel or something. So when it's upload, it will actually match with the name or whatever parameters we can specify.
Hmm.
And based on that, the library metadata is also updated along with this document being uploaded to SharePoint. That is quite possible.
Okay, thank you, Sunil. We have another question from Karthik. How secure is the user and organization data while customization and integration to any third-party app?
Can you repeat that question?
Yeah, I'll repeat that. How secure is the user and organization while customization and integration to any third-party app?
Yeah, so mainly this integration is either through connector or the API. So this actually requires some sort of authentication to do that. So the data exchange is always secured. So you can be sure about that.
Yeah, when just adding a bit on that. So when if you're using Azure APM and yeah, those kind of solutions I mentioned earlier, you can really set policies also there to prevent any data loss.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Satish. Uh, can RPA connect to SharePoint? And RPA will be the tool uploading a file. Vincent wants to know.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah. I think
yeah, Anup, you can
yeah.
take.
Yeah, sorry. Power Automate Desktop is an example, for an RPA tool which we already have within Microsoft 365 subscription itself, right? So that can actually easily connect to SharePoint. You can, use Power Automate Desktop to do most of the automation tasks. And we can use Power Automate Desktop to even upload files into SharePoint.
I hope that answers your question, Vincent. And do we have any more questions coming? All right, then. Thank you all for joining us today. We hope you found this webinar insightful and that you have a clearer understanding of how to unlock the advanced capabilities of M365. If you have any questions and you need any further assistance, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you once again for your participation, and we look forward to a continued association. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.